Hi everybody, this is Felicia, and I'm here with a wonderful layout. I am on the Scrapping Wonders design team, and I am doing a mixed media here on the Traveler's Notebook insert that I have. I am so in love with these Traveler's Notebook inserts, and I'm just so, I can't even begin to say how much I really like these things. So, travel. Scrapping Wonders is Beth Solar. So she is the owner and creator of this terrific, awesome notebook insert and many others. So you want to check her out. And what I'm doing right now is I am going to be doing a mixed media layout here on mine because mine is watercolor. So I got a bunch of mediums here. I have some paint, I have some sprays, and I also have put some gesso on the page so that it can work really well here with what I'm going for. So if you're really interested in doing any mixed media, my suggestion is that you kind of look at a few videos first before you decide to go ahead and do it, because it does take some time and it does take some I would say patience with it. So because you have the drying time and everything like that with it along with it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm mixing some of the sprays, and I'm using some of the dilution sprays, using some watercolor paints as well. So I'm doing this kind of mixed background here to create, this is just to create a background. And it's just second layer, of course, you know, when sometimes mixed media has different layers. And this is my second layer that I'm going over this part with. And now I'm spraying it and drenching it because I wanted to run more. See how it's running more now? Because I just got finished spraying some water on there. And I wanted it to just run and get that blended look that I'm going for. And I'm drying up all the water here, the excess water that's here on the layout spread here for the notebook. And of course, you know, it takes a little bit. Like I said, you have to have patience. So here's the finished dried product here. And now I'm going to be taking some of my ink here, and I'm using some of the Jane Davenport stamps. And I like this one of this face. And so what I'm doing with this right now is I am drawing some hair, and I'm using some of the black watercolor paints, and I'm using fine, quick strokes and kind of swirling it around and flipping it up. You know, as hair looks when it's being blown all over the place, you know. So, um, and this is what I'm doing with this, and I'm loving how this is turning out. It really surprised me, to be honest with you, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to actually do this and do the hair and everything like that. But after watching my son, oh my gosh, my son showed me some things and some different strokes because he is an artist, actually a true artist. So, and after watching him, I decided, you know what, I am going to try this, and so I'm glad I did, and I'm really happy that I did. So I'm putting some lipstick on her lips right now, and it dries. It comes out like that first, and then it dries, you know, later on. And I love the way it comes out, so you can kind of see her lips a little bit more. And so I'm pretty much done right now, and that's going to dry because the watercolor that I use on it is not super thick or anything like that. So I'm using some Texturiz, and that's from Shimmeriz. Texturiz, if that's how you pronounce it. And there's texture in this. It's awesome. I've used this before, and I love the way it comes out because there's so much texture to it, and you can just feel the little beads in there and everything. And I'm remembering to clean off my stencil because I've forgotten in the past to clean off my stencil, and it was a little hard getting it off. I mean, it wasn't dry, you know, super dry, but it took a while to get off. So I'm going to dry this section here, of course, because I want this to be dried. And what I do is I put some of the powder on there to keep it from sticking to the next page. If you ever want that, because I've noticed that even after mixed media has been dried, if you put anything on it, it still sticks. So the powder does help, and that's one of the tricks that I've learned over the time. So I'm using some Tim Holtz stamps here to also to create more layers and just some more interest on here. Unfortunately, it didn't stamp like I wanted it to, so I just at least I got a little bit of a stamp on it, and so I'm going to be trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that space. And then there's the birds. Oh, this stamp set is so cool. This is a Tim Holtz stamp set, and I really enjoy using the stamp set. And those are like, dipped birds there, and I kind of stamped them at different angles so I can give the illusion of more birds. And now I'm going to be taking something from my stash, which is some acetate pieces here, and I'm going to be putting them down here on the bottom here underneath this photo, not photo, I'm so used to saying photo, of this design here. Flowers represent what I like, and also too, this whole entire layout here just represents the kind of like the thought pattern, my thought pattern and what I'm thinking about, and what's always on my mind and things like that. So I always tend to, for some reason, dream in green and these colors right here. And so I decided to go ahead and use those as well. The colors on the background, and then the flowers, of course, kind of brings it out a little bit more. It adds some more contrast and just more layers. So I'm going to partially stamp some of the birds as well, as you can see. I'm stamping some of those again. And I'm using some of my Stays On ink. Now, my Stays On ink right now is working really well. My other ink wasn't working that well, and so I decided that I wanted to go ahead and just use that. And as you can see, I had to double stamp that. That worked. It came out good, so I had to put a little bit of something down at the bottom there. So now I have the part there, and now I'm going to be journaling. And my journaling is a quote, and my quote is going to say, if you do not have a plan for your life, chances are you will fall into someone else's plan. And what do they have planned for you? Nothing. So that quote, I love that quote, and I've been living by that quote for a while now, and I really, really like it. So it does help, and it does remind me of a lot. So I'm sprinkling some Heidi Swap mist, and I'm pretty much done with this layout. So stay tuned for some close-ups, and don't forget to take a look at the other gals' channels and the blogs, because we are doing a blog hop today. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care. Bye-bye.